Welcome back to Momentum. After an explosive start, our intrepid adventurers have finally reached the community of Momentum. They've walked through the magical portal, the stone archway, and are about to set out to find their homes for the next year. Before we step back into that adventure this evening, I'd like to give a little insight to one of our other characters. We're going to step back and see a bit of a flashback for the lovely, the mysterious Harkin. The scene opens on a shabby hotel room of sorts. Simple bed, dresser, and a desk. And we see the lovely Harkin, just as she's been described before. Ashy gray skin, dark purple hair, bright neon eyes. Jewelry adorning her arms, her hands, along her horns and her hair, but never anything other than that simple locket around her neck. Tonight, that locket is off her neck, in front of her on the desk, open. We see Harkin hovering her hands over the locket, murmuring to herself as if having some sort of a conversation. She stops after a long moment, slumping forward a bit in her wheelchair, and she sighs. She stares across the desk to the other items. A journal, open, notes scrawled across it, a map, marks along it, X's, circles, question marks, and a letter. Something she didn't place there. Something that appeared earlier that evening. She picks up the letter, turns it over in her hand. Once, twice, 3 times. And then she sets it back down, turns back to the locket, closes the polished surface, putting it back around her neck. She wheels over to the small, slightly dingy window of her room. She stares out across a busy street. Different markets, stalls, even in the evening, bustling. This is a city that she has stayed in before, one that she came to for a very long time after her injury, one of the few places she might actually call home. She sighs, knows what she must do. Alrighty, guys. So last time, you guys got to see Momentum for the first time. Got to see the setup of this pocket dimension, this magical city, this electrical place of innovation. It's set up like we told you, very similar to the 9-pointed star. It's a circular area, very large, expansive. Each sort of like wheel wedge is set up for the different domains. So you run down, you've got the Midnight, Arcana, Sage, Bone, Blade, Valor, Splendor, Codex, and Grace. All different, laid out depending on the creators, the innovators, the magic workers, all of those things. They tend to sort of live in those areas, and then the presentations are based that way. So again, as you guys travel, do your show days, anyone who's there for only one day knows exactly where to go. Indigo lets you guys know, one of the Inner Circle members that helped get you guys through the gate last time. Each section has a certain amount of what they call cabins, bunk cabins for initiates and members. Each cabin is its own standalone building. It's basically like a 2-bedroom, 1-bath kind of apartment-esque, but it's a standalone. And there's a certain amount of them available in each section. You guys get to decide. While they do recommend that you kind of stay in your area of expertise, that's mostly just for like presentations and show times, you guys can post up pretty much everywhere except for in the Inner Circle. So, yeah. So last time I think I picked on the newlyweds first. Oh no, I'm sorry, you're right. I picked on you first, my love. So I will pick on the newlyweds first this time. So you guys got your first look at Momentum last time. You both had some real fun magic happen. Some real cool, like, attunement that kind of happened to each of you. And now you guys and the other 2 initiates have kind of been set free. You've basically been given a map very similar to what I showed you last time. Told each wheel wedge has like their entry areas that bump up to that inner amphitheater, the inner circle. Those are where they put the open cabins so that everyone kind of knows where they are until they get their bearings. Indigo will go on to explain to you guys that it is a organically magic pocket dimension. So it moves, it alters. Once you guys get a little bit more bearing, it'll probably move further into the wheel wedge that you pick. Each section does have sort of its own vibe, very similar to the domains. But something you guys notice as you're sort of looking around is that there's people from all over. You see, again, you've got like banners from different regions and cities. You've got like colorings and paintings on buildings of not just specific species, but like beliefs and codexes and things like that. So it's a very big melting pot mishmash. It's a living, breathing community. So where do our newlyweds maybe want to post up?
Are you thinking, darling, our cabin area to be?
So the main gate is right here. You come in basically between the Midnight and Arcana wedges. Just a little clarification. Each of the wedges has a barrier, sort of like a wall between each one. There's gates to like get in and out. Think of this similar to like Avatar Bossing Say, where like the rings kind of you could get to each of them, but they were like sectioned.
Is there anything happening in the inner circle stage area?
That's a great question, Tat. That's a fantastic question. There's some smoke coming up from the amphitheater. Some pretty heavy, dark smoke. It's not from the inner circle area itself. It's from the amphitheater right in front of the inner circle. You can travel to that area.
I'll say, well, this is going to be the thing I'm most excited to see.
So do you want to check the amphitheater before we pick where we're going to,
I spotted it as soon as we got here, my love, and it looks like it's on fire, maybe?
You guys are still standing close enough, by the way, because again, you were all kind of huddled up before we ended last time. You definitely do hear the ukulele cat now saying, I think it's on fire.
Your old pyrotechnics specialist isn't here, is it?
Oh, gosh, I hope we didn't get in the...
Like, no.
Oh.
Harkin, one of your new initiates that 2 of you have kind of interacted with a little bit and you guys haven't quite yet, is going to kind of roll up and she's going to say, that doesn't look like a pyrotechnic fire. Usually pyrotechnic fires have a different coloring to the smoke because of the chemicals that go into it. This one looks like an actual sort of carcinogenic one, like someone actually set something on fire.
It's on fire. I said it looks like it's on fire.
So you've no one named Gunpowder here?
Not in the ledgers that I'm aware of.
Oh, darling. Okay.
Yeah, I think the doctor is going to start making his way there. It sounds like it might be dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. So from where you guys are, again, this main gate and then down the hill into the actual, again, circle area where everything's sectioned out, you're going to basically end up going through Arcana, just because it's the path of least resistance at that point. And if you just sort of make your way down the main drag of that wheel wedge, you will end up at the amphitheater because it is at the center.
Right. Let's go check it out at least.
Lead the way. Doctor, are you coming in case someone needs...
Yeah, already like 10 feet away from him.
You turn away and he's already like tunneling.
Oh, you're coming. Let's follow the doctor.
I suppose I could tag along just to make sure that nothing too bad is happening. Harkin will kind of come behind you guys. What about you, my dear Tibbity Turtle?
What's Bang Bang doing?
Bang Bang was focused on his candy from the good doctor that made his tummy feel better because of the magical backlash. He listened to you very carefully and made sure to suck on it, not swallow it, and then accidentally swallowed it. And is standing there kind of looking very guilty because he accidentally swallowed his candy. But then as soon as his kitty cat friend said fire, he looked up and just like shrunk in. Fire bad, turtle.
Yes, fire is bad when it's out of control. Maybe we want to go take a look and see if we can help out.
Mm-hmm. He looks very hesitant.
Out of game, I'm sure they have some sort of facility to take care of a fire or whatever it is, but
Yes. I'll give you this as a freebie, especially because you've been around Bang Bang enough the last 2 games. This is not a fear hesitation. He doesn't look like he said fire bad, but that was like a reaction. He possibly looks hesitant for a different reason.
You okay there, Bang Bang?
Dendrick no like when I get in way of amphitheater.
Of course. Why don't you show me around what you do around here?
Turtle want see cabin?
Sure. We can go see cabin.
Turtle see cabin.
Okay.
And he's gonna take you the opposite direction. Oh. Bye, Kit Kat friends.
Bye, baby. Happy very first time.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with you guys heading towards the amphitheater. So what you notice as you're sort of walking or hurrying towards the smoke, it's set up very nicely. Like, I don't know how else to describe organized chaos in the sense that like the streets are very and I say streets loosely because again each wheel wedge is sort of like its own football field, so it's a good amount of space, but it's not like each wheel wedge is not like its own city. It's just sort of like suburbs essentially. But there are sort of like streets, and you can see where you guys entered the main entrance. The first section, the widest part of that wheel wedge, there are like shop fronts. There are a lot of different like stages for presentations. And then as you guys kind of get past that first section, then it becomes sort of like streets, and you've got like cabins and buildings with internal shops. So it's almost like when you go to a traveling fair or like a circus, the main area is for presentation, the back area are for the carnies. Like, think of it kind of like that.
Okay.
So you guys make through the first area. You start weaving through the cabins, the buildings, the local area. And then you butt up to this barrier that makes its way around the entire inner circle area. It's taller than you guys. Taller than even Tibbity, who I think is the tallest out of all of you. Well, not including Bang Bang. My apologies. But it's taller than you guys. And there's people walking along it. So we can kind of think similar to Bossing Say, where like the rings can kind of be like lowered to get in and out. And that's sort of what you guys come up on.
On?
Dude, they want the talent up there at all times.
Yeah, I'm just looking around to try to see, if there's perhaps anyone in danger, if there's anyone in at least immediate.
So does there seem to be like panic?
Yeah.
Or
Not that you guys are seeing.
I think it was very passive in the looks like smoke. It's like
Well, that was Harkin.
or harking. Somebody.
Yeah.
Like it just they're like we're coming and there's not like screaming and yelling and like it's on fire.
No.
Okay.
There's 2 guards immediately above you guys on the wall. Like, again, this is probably a 10-foot wall, like, above you, but close enough you could call up to them if you wanted. But they're not panicking. Like, they're not even facing the smoke that you guys are, like, heading towards.
Oh, hey! Hey up there!
Tat, describe one of the guards for me.
One of them is Furble.
Furbolg, got it.
The other is a gnome.
Perfect. So the Furbolg looks kind of down as you call up, and are you part of the new initiates?
Yeah. Everything okay up there?
Yeah, the circle members, they arrived earlier. I apologize for the smoke.
The place isn't burning down, is it?
No. If there were actual issue, we would have evacuated.
How, what's the cat got to do to get across this wall here?
you said you're one of the new initiates, right?
Yeah.
Press your paw up against, and they're going to gesture down, and as they do, you see a replica of the 9-star sections that you guys were seeing from up above. It's carved into the stone of the wall.
Okay.
Okay. And Kit, as you press your paw up against it, the same paw that you used to shake and make your soul bond, you feel a very slight burn on the center of your paw. Just quick, like real quick. Like as soon as you pull back, it's gone. But as you do that, the symbol lights up and a doorway opens.
I'll walk there and look at
Yep.
Look around.
And you all can pass through because you are initiates. You're good. And you get to the other side, and there are stairs and a ramp leading into the actual amphitheater section because it's the front section of this inner circle area. As you guys enter, you see the seating. It's huge. I mean, this is bigger than the biggest place you've ever performed, Kit, by at least twice the size. It's a large metal dome, again, very open air amphitheater, I think. But the metal is something you've never seen before. It's almost like opalescent. Like it's got that sort of like iridescent sheen to it. And it's got that like hammered metal, like the textured kind of bumps on the outer edge of it. And then on the inside, it almost looks like someone has brushed it entirely with tar. It's got that like obsidian look. So it's very obviously metallic. Like you can see the material, but those are the colorings and like the texturing to it. And that's the entire dome itself.
Can I see where the source of the smoke is now that we passed through?
Absolutely. So as you guys pass through the doorway that created itself for you, and the smoke is coming from the center of what would be the stage. The stage itself is pristine, dark lacquered wood. Beautiful. It looks almost like any description of like an ancient tree. Like again, that like deep, grainy wood. Like when they used to let you make tables out of like the old redwoods and sequoias and stuff before it was illegal. Like think of it like that, where you can see like the veining in the wood and stuff. And it's been lacquered very dark. And the center of it, there's like a slight raised platform, and that seems to be where the smoke is coming from. Like the platform itself.
Okay, and once again, no one looks like they're freaking out. No one looks like they're hurt.
No one looks hurt. You see a couple members of the inner circle up by the platform. There's a couple miscellaneous members and workers and such kind of making their way up and down all the seats and the stairs and the ramps. Specifically, you see Smoke, the head ringleader, all of the above. He is standing right in front of the platform. You also specifically see Agni, the Emberkin. He's off to the side, like behind Smoke. He does have his hands out, and they're glowing a light blue. And you notice that there's sort of like a standalone storm cloud, like kind of like raining on the smoke. So it looks like he's kind of like containing it at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, seeing that no one's in immediate danger or in need of medical assistance, I'm just gonna let these two take it. I'll stand next to you.
Yeah.
But just keep your eye.
Yeah. And you guys see the same thing that I just described. Specifically, Smoke and Agni right now of the inner circle are up on the stage. This big wide stage has a slightly raised platform that seems to be the center of the smoke that's happening.
Right. So I'm basically ignoring all that.
Yeah, obviously.
See, I'm heading just to the center of that stage.
We'll take a look around. I'm going to say, Kit Kat, this is what we're going to put on our magnum opus.
So I got so many ideas.
It's so big. Like,
Could be bigger. It could be big.
of course, darling. For you, it could definitely be bigger. But
Just imagine every seat out here, everyone with a torch lit up in the air just for us. It'll be amazing.
it's something.
And as you guys are kind of having this conversation, and that like cloud of smoke sort of like wafts over the two of you, and you're both kind of like, as it sort of clears out of the way, Smoke, the Infernus, is now sort of standing just slightly behind between the two of you. It was like, oh, our two newest initiates.
Hey, sorry.
Hello. We're just
The new digs here.
No apology needed. It's innate curiosity. I think what's the old saying? Curiosity took the cat or something.
Kill the cat. Kill it.
And then behind you, Agni is gonna say, but satisfaction brought it back. In that crackly, whispery of a voice. And Smoke's just gonna sort of like sigh and, well, what I meant to say was that it's natural for you to have that sort of curiosity, especially you as our performer this year.
Absolutely. This is gonna be home base. A#1 right here. Right here.
very excited. Very excited.
I'm sure. I apologize that it's less than up to standards currently.
Yeah, we having some fun up here. What just
No. It seems that one of our stage crew was testing out a new idea for a show that's been kind of kicked around a little bit, and instead of pyrotechnics, they were hoping to use some more elemental magic, and instead of creating the effect that they wanted, it instead set off a chain reaction, which did react with the pyrotechnics, and then set our platform on fire.
oh, that's no good.
Easily fixed, my dear. Not a problem. It'll be ready before we leave late tomorrow and head for Hollywood.
Excellent. Awesome. This is gonna be so good. Man, we're here.
Yep.
Doctor, we're here. I'll slap you. Y'all know what you're here for, but we're here.
Like fall over. Right. You have to like catch myself. It's a little...
She like instinctually like throws her tail towards you.
Right. Harkin has like thrown out her hand a little bit too and is like, Kit. Smoke says Hollywood. You know the name Hollywood. It is the biggest forest city in this region. So in this country, which we haven't really talked much about, probably because I'm a lazy force of nature and I just gave you guys maps. But the country that you guys are residing in is called Biraven. It's the largest continent in the world that we're creating together. And you guys are currently in the main region, the Pawani region. Is mostly coastal to the south, and then there's different water masses, a big canal, a peninsula. But Hollywood is one of the biggest cities. While Comfe, the city that you guys just came from, is the largest, especially once you get into like the underground grottos and the caverns. Hollywood is the biggest landlocked city in this region. More so, it's the largest urban area in this region because this region is very much either coastal, mountainous, or all forest. There's kind of no in between for this particular region. Kit, you specifically know because Hollywood is the city of entertainment. If you get to Hollywood and you get to perform, you know that you've made it as an entertainer.
I will get my name
In the bricks. On the Golden Street.
of Hollywood. You know that's been my goal.
I nailed a jury. And he said that's where we're going next.
That's where we're going to go. So I mean, with it so soon. What we're gonna do? What we're gonna do the rest of the year?
Celebrate.
Perfect idea. Perfect idea. I love it.
Doctor, you've also heard of Hollywood. I would say that he probably has passed by it at least once on his sort of like doctoral pilgrimage is what I'm going to call it. He didn't like it very much. A little too bright, a little too crowded, a little too streets of gold and alleys of darkness. But you understand why your newest companion would be excited about it for sure.
Taking this will be your first time. Well, then, I've never, had an opportunity to actually make my way out there. This is kind of even bigger than Hollywood. We're in Memento.
So we're gonna go take over Hollywood, and then once this is done in a year or so,
They're nearly in the spot they're from, you know what I'm saying? Maybe take a residency. Yeah, you're gonna fit right in there.
wave at them as I go over and stand in front of Agni.
Sure.
And just kind of like stare at them as they're doing their thing.
Sure. Smoke kind of chuckles as he's listening to your plan, and I do love the ambition. It's always so good to hear a performer with real gumption and ambition. I feel so many join our ranks and just plateau, like that's it, they've made it. So it's very nice to hear someone who wants to do more for not just themselves, but for us as the Momentum family.
Yeah, that's the goal. Obviously, right? For momentum.
Lots of dreams and goals.
Absolutely. Well, please feel free to explore the stage. One of our stage hands, obviously Indigo's our main stage manager and is in charge of all the stage hands and 10 missions, etc. But one of our stage hands, and he's going to gesture down to let's do a Galapa. I haven't had a Galapa aside from our dear Tibbity for a while. A Galapa in like all dark clothing, holding a clipboard, but specifically with that 9-pointed star embroidered right on the chest. So it stands out from the others that are in like all the dark like stagehand clothes, so to speak. He's going to point and he's going to say, one of our stagehands is there if you have any notes for your performances that you wish to do. Next couple of days before we get to Hollywood, you'll be speaking and doing some stage presence and making sure that we understand what you need from us.
Oh, I have a list.
I love to hear it. I'm quite fond of lists. And so he's going to kind of leave you guys to it. Doctor, is just standing there. Agni really pays you no mind. You can tell that they're casting some sort of magic. You know enough about sorcery, casting, etc., even though it's not really your forte, and then also your history of knowing Agni. There is innate magic, which is a core to a person, and it comes from themselves. And then there is patronage magic, which is where you call on an outside force. This is what that is here. And you can tell specifically because the energy is not like coming from Agni. He's like calling to, or they're calling to it. And probably some sort of nature deity or something has just caused this like condensed cloud to put it out. And after a couple minutes, it does finally kind of simmer down and you see the scorch marks across the platform.
Yeah. I think he just sits there.
Literally sits there and just watches this. Doesn't say anything to Agni. Just stares, just watching it kind of unfold until it's done. And then he'll slowly get up and walk back.
Okay. And as you're kind of like walking back and you pass by your cat friends and Smoke sort of chuckling and listening to this list that's being prattled off at this point, Harkin has not come up the stage. Unfortunately, it's the one portion of this area that doesn't have a ramp, but she doesn't seem very bothered. As you kind of like hop down, she's got her arms kind of crossed and she's kind of looking to where you were just over by Agni, and she kind of tilts her head. Smoke said that there was a reaction to the pyrotechnics. She kind of just leaves that statement there for a minute.
Yes. He did, didn't he?
He did.
Wonder what type of emulsification that reaction needed to have such an effect as this.
Wondering why it hasn't shown on the platform. If there was a chemical reaction, you'd think to see more than just a scorch across the wood. Decaying process, possibility of discoloration.
Very possibly. I'm not much of a person of religion. I know that you have a patron. Is it something along those lines, do you think?
Well, patronage magic is a little different because, as I'm sure you at least have the base knowledge of, normal magic users pull from themselves, patronage pulls from something else. It's possible. I'm speaking more on a scientific level of, well, the proof is in the pudding, isn't it?
Yes, on that level, it definitely would be. And, well, Let's just say I'm not seeing very many sweet treats around here.
Myself either. Good doctor, myself either. I hope that it gets cleared up soon.
You and me both.
Just sort of nod, and there's just some like quiet understanding kind of passed between. On the other side of our map, our dear Tivity the turtle,
Yes.
our turtle friend. Bang Bang at the idea of being able to show you his cabin has just gone from full I can't be in the way Dendrick said I'm bad if I'm on the stage to I'm going to show turtle friend cabin and bed and closet and wall and instruments, and it's again just like having a turtle or a toddler, pardon me, you're a turtle, having a toddler. And so he's going to take you around the edging from Midnight into Grace. And then past that front area again with all the displays, the tents, the stages, the whatever. You start to see, the closer you get to that inner wall that I described to them earlier, the more spaced out the cabins are. And some of them you notice, some that have been here longer, they've sort of condensed into almost like New York City row buildings. Like they're on top of each other. They're like apartment buildings kind of thing. Indigo did mention that it was a organic pocket dimension. I'm sure people could change up the longer they're here. But the cabin that Bang Bang brings you to, the first thing you notice is that it is painted the most garish neon green color.
Of course it's.
It's got like flowers painted around the bottom of it. It's got like birds around the roof edge. And then the whole thing is again just this like safety green color. And it's turtle I make bright so I not miss.
I see that. It's a very interesting, strategy to not get lost.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna kind of like grab your hand and half drag you around. He's gonna, as you guys come up to the cabin, you notice there's no lock on the door. There's not even technically a handle. It's got like sort of a notch. And he sort of holds his hand up and the door opens. And you go in. And as soon as you step in, Bang Bang has to like kneel down to get into it. You're fine. But then as soon as you step inside, it's like a TARDIS feel. It's like bigger on the inside. Everything is large enough for him. You notice it's set up very similar to like a studio apartment. So you have the back area where there's a bed. It's a very small kitchenette. There's a door that probably leads to a bathroom. One thing you notice right away is there are instruments over just about every surface of this place. You got a didgeridoo in the corner. You got violins on the counter. You got chimes hanging up on the window. Sitting on the edge of the bed, there is what you can only describe as a like ladder-sized percussion mallet. And he runs right over and picks it up and turtle mallet.
That is a very big and very nice looking mallet.
It make nice noise.
Good. So Bang Bang, this is a very nice spot you have here. I'm surprised you're over in this section, the gray section, not in the inner circle area with the rest of the inner circle.
Bang Bang not part of inner circle.
Oh.
Dendrick
Yeah.
part of inner circle.
Gotta be. I thought he was also part of the inner circle.
No, Bang Bang has just been initiated into Memento. He has been granted leave to stay here prior because he is Dendrick's ward, but he's just officially been initiated in, like you guys.
Okay. So yeah. So other than, your music, do you help out anywhere else around here?
Bang Bang has show.
Yeah.
No, for Momentum, Bang
Right.
Bang has show.
Yeah, I would imagine so. You're a very talented musician.
Yes, Bang Bang makes noise.
Yes, Bang Bang makes noise.
Ha ha ha. Bang Bang also helps pick up trash and collect for Miss Indigo. Sometimes Bang Bang stand guard at, and he points back to where like the arch was. And Bang Bang has show.
Good. Anything for Dendrick? Spend time with him? Any kind of training or jobs you do together?
And he kind of like does that thing again where he like holds his shoulders into himself. And he just kind of tries to make himself smaller, all 9 feet of him. No, Dendrick tell Bang Bang he get in way.
I thought you were his ward. He should be training you.
Dendrick teach sometimes. Dendrick teach, look. He runs over and he picks up a fiddle. And he, with the most amazing sense of grace ever, literally begins to play this beautiful piece on the fiddle. Even though it's like, looks like a normal person holding like a doll fiddle.
Yeah.
But he does, and he like sets it down and says, Dendrick teach.
Okay. Just want to make sure that you're happy here and your talents are being put to the best use that they can.
Bang Bang have show, Bang Bang have instruments, Bang Bang have turtle friend now. And kitty cat friend, and pretty cat friend, and doctor kind of friend.
Yes. This is very nice. Thank you for showing me. Let's go check on our friends. I promise we won't get in the way.
Okay. Bang Bang trust turtle. Guess it all. So about as you guys are finishing up, Bang Bang and Tibbity kind of come through the opposite way of what you guys came doing the circle sector. So obviously from a different wedge in the map. And they kind of come through when you guys are coming out of the amphitheater area. So kind of just right into the arch, basically. So yeah, you see your friend Tibbity, the turtle, and you see Bang Bang, who is trying to make himself very small again and sort of looking around a lot.
That's okay, Bang Bang. You can stand tall. You do good things here. You do a good job, and we're not in anyone's way.
Yeah, how is the tummy feeling there, big guy?
Oh, tell me better, doctor. Tell me better.
That's good. It's good to hear. If you ever start to feel that again, just come find me, all right?
Oh, yes, doctor. Yes, doctor. And he's gonna reach down in his beard. He's gonna pull another one of those daisies, and he's gonna like put it on top of the bowler hat portion of like your big flume.
When he does, I'm going to use Wild Touch, and more of them will start to grow around it until it sounded like a T. The rest of it sort of covering his bowler, quote unquote, hat.
Oh, good trick, doctor.
Hey, I've got a couple up my sleeve myself, not as good as you, of course. We're our cat friends here, and certainly not as good as our turtle friend, but I can do a thing or two.
Oh, good trick. Bang Bang like. Harkin is kind of up in the back, kind of towards you guys, and she's sort of chuckling, kind of like she's trying not to laugh, but not because she's being malicious. You can tell she's trying not to like laugh at Bang Bang in case he thinks that she's laughing at her. You see her kind of like glancing around at the different sections again of both of you see this. Her eyes linger over one particular section, and then she kind of goes back, and it seems like she's taking catalog almost, like she's seeing where all the different wedges are, and she's just sort of like in her thoughts at the moment.
Say, Bang Bang, how do we decide where we're supposed to stay? They just kind of threw us in here. Do we just go pick a house? Like, how does this, do you know?
Yes, Bang Bang tell Pretty Kitty. All sections of Momentum have open cabins. There are big cabins, 2-bedroom. There are small cabins, 1-bedroom. And they all have symbol. And he's going to kind of look around and realize that there's nothing for him to draw or do with. So then he's going to go over to the wall and he's going to put his hand on the wall, similar to what you did earlier with your paw. And the that same just sort of like 9-point star gonna show up. He's gonna point. He's like, symbol.
Okay.
Part of soul contract. You new initiates. So you pick cabin. You put hand on cabin. Cabin soul bind. Then you can change cabin.
So we just pick any cabin?
Any empty cabin. If touch, He's gonna look around again, and he's gonna go over to one of like the chairs in the amphitheater, and he's gonna touch it with his hand. And nothing lights up, but it sort of like vibrates a little bit. Like you can see the like movement. Yeah, kind of like that, like a phone vibrate almost. He said, "Somebody take."
Oh.
Light good, bad.
Let's go find a house.
Let's go, mother. Lead the way.
All right. Any particular will wedge you guys want to look at first?
Grace has been catching my eye from afar here.
Absolutely.
It feels up our alley.
She kind of
Graceful and luxurious, maybe.
Absolutely. So that's the one that Tibbity and Bang Bang just came through. So you guys kind of just go back through the arch once you put your paws up. Everything in Grace is done sort of smoothly. There's like kind of like a babbling brook back on like the locals area that someone has sort of like magicked around one cabin. When you get further up, it looks very similar to sort of like in Aladdin where they have like the silks and the things like strung between buildings. It all oozes sort of like luxury, smooth elegance. It's like a softer take, even on architecture and stuff.
This looks nice.
This is very our style.
Seeing as how what I was staple, honestly, was the decorations that are crammed in my bag that you packed. It was very, very, a lot of cloth pillows, but cottage course. Yes. So there's just tons of that in this bag with all my instruments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Why don't both of you give me do an instinct check?
22.
With fear. Fear. Feed the force of nature.
I mean, the white dice, your fear dice.
You're my hook.
That's exactly what I did.
Y'all are adorable.
22 though.
2 22s, one with hope, one with fear. That's wonderful. Thank you for feeding the force of nature, and make sure to mark your hope. Okay, so the two of you sort of link arms, twist tails together, and go kind of skipping off. As you guys are sort of like looking at all the cabins, and again, just like I explained, the closer to that center wall you get, the further spaced they are. And these are probably newer initiates, things like that. You guys come around the corner of one of them, and you actually kind of like stop to look at the one cabin. It seems like someone had magicked like that kind of babbling brook going over some stones. There was like some gold silk pulled over the door. As you guys come around the corner of that one, you see just this beautiful little cabin. It's larger than some of the ones around it. It's probably one of the big ones that Bang Bang was talking about. It's got a painted sage green door. There is some bronzing around the windows. The two front windows are stained glass. Different shades of like green, some reds, some yellows, like very opulent but like pretty colors. And it's just kind of stood before you guys. The brook has sort of like babbled over to it a little bit, so there looks like there's a little bit of almost like a koi pond feel kind of butted up to the side of it.
My hairs go down. I get that 100-mile look. I'm already fishing that damn thing.
Darling, we're not fishing right now. We're house hunting. You can fish later.
Well, is this one available?
Well, let's see.
I'll put my hand on the pedestal.
It does not buzz at you, but it doesn't do anything yet.
Nothing's happening. You try it.
Okay. I'm gonna do the same.
Doesn't buzz, but nothing happens yet. Now, as a nice GM move, I'll let you know that the two of you tried it separately.
Mm-hmm. Well, first, that has some
Can
fun
we-
to us.
I did. Do you think there's... I mean, this does look like a bigger one.
Who's our manager? Who can complain to you?
I mean, he's technically not in charge. They just didn't give it
Right?
to fiction.
Him, you can take care of. He knows everyone.
Does know everybody. But
Congratulations, you've been made manager, Tibbity.
this is...
Activity stasis.
It looks a little bigger than the others. Maybe there's like a... Maybe it has to be two people? Because he said there was like one person basically and two person.
Roommates.
1, 2, darling.
Got it. You see, that's why I keep you around, right? so, same time?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Ready?
1, 2, 3, go.
Okay, you guys put your paws up against the door. And this time, instead of it feeling kind of like a burn, it feels like warmth on both of your palms. Sort of. Mhm. A green and a red version of that star appear on either side of the door. And then the door opens.
Well, love, before you go in, and I'll scoop her up.
This is our honeymoon.
Over the threshold.
And I'll carry you through. I'll use one tail and close the door.
Yeah. Beautiful. Fade to black. All right. So back over to our smaller group. Yeah, so the cats have run off to play, went house hunting. You guys are more than welcome to do the same. Sort of same thing. You've got all the different domain wedges that you can look into if you'd like. You're also more than welcome just to explore. You don't have to make a decision tonight. Bang Bang will more than happily explain to you that, and they don't say it as eloquently as Indigo was earlier because it's Bang Bang and we love him, but this is the same person that say Burb and Turtle Friend. So he'll sort of explain that, like, even if you pick a house, because magic is smart, it can change, it can alter. He'll like explain to you Bang Bang want paint on house, so magic smart and make paint on house. So he's basically explaining to you that because, again, it's an organic pocket dimension, you guys have a little bit of liberty because of the soul contract.
I think the doctor would look for, I'm guessing around the sage area is where some of the more both natural and the scientific areas, some of the healers, like some of the more people that work behind the scenes, maybe the vets, like that type of thing.
Sure.
To see if there's any just small little mushroom person-sized house for.
Absolutely. And as you kind of head off to that area of the wheel wedge, when you enter into the sage area, it's done in very clean lines. So in the way that the Grace one was done in like smooth opulence, this is done very clean lines. It's mostly gray and white architecture. Think of it like entering into like Athens, kind of, you know, like there's the big tall buildings. There's lots of like book stalls. There are quite a few, like you were talking about, sort of like animal stalls of different like breeds of things, sort of a combination of the two, essentially. Once again, think of it very much like the penultimate Athens. I'm imagining the scene in animated Hercules where they go to drop off like at the Acropolis where they're like dropping off their wares and you've got like all the different stalls.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what's in my head. And as you enter again to the back area, same. It's a little more spread out, closer to the wall. Give me an instinct check.
Sure. I'm all right with that. Come on. That is 19 with fear.
Okay. So you sort of weave in and out. You get distracted a couple times by some of the wares, some of like the book stalls, or you see some of like hanging herbs and such. And you're just like, oh, I haven't seen that one in this area, like that sort of thing. But as you sort of weave back towards the cabins, you see indeed a smaller cabin. This cabin is butted very close to the wall. It's not pressed up against it, but it almost, like, again, there's barriers for the central area and then barriers for each wheel wedge area. And this is sort of placed kind of at the corner of those two. Obviously, it's like circularized, so it's not fully corner, but it's like your barrier goes here and your circle goes here, and your cabin is kind of like right here. Very good vantage point. It is a little bit smaller than some of the ones around it. And it's just, it feels homey. It's done in sort of like these light brown colors. The wood on the side of the cabin looks similar almost to like the stage that you saw, like kind of an older, more ancient wood. It's got like 2 steps leading up to a porch where you actually see like sort of a little rocking chair on the porch. You see a very small attached area to the back, which would almost be like having a sunroom kind of, so it could be like a workshop. And it's very much like your size.
Perfect. Yeah, I think the doc is gonna come up and rub his little hands together and look for the symbol, and very sort of he's got, there's a little bit of trepidation about him, but he puts his hand on it.
Yeah. And yours feels sort of like a static shock. It doesn't hurt you. It's just sort of, again, like if something shocks you, it's like, it's more the shock value than anything. And a bright blue symbol appears right where your hand was, and it thrums, and the door opens.
Oh. And then doctor's gonna kind of look around, not really believing this is legit, but still picks his bag up and kind of like cracks his back. It's been a long day. Yeah. Oh, sweet. Whatever the hell this place is. He walks in and closes the door behind him.
Accurate. Okay. Well, that just leaves us with you, my love, my dear turtle, my dear Tibbity.
I'm kind of interested in 3 possible areas. Arcana, Midnights, and Codex.
Okay.
So I'm figuring Codex might have a library of some sort that I might be able to try and glean some information in.
Sure. Well, I'll give you as a freebie. Codex does have a library. It's sort of a more structured version of what the Sage would be. So like where I said the Sage is kind of set up with like vendor stalls, and it's sort of like a community version of like information. Codex is a lot more structured. This is going to be set up similar to like a college campus. You're going to have like a main library area, and then everything kind of spoken off of that. Midnight is sort of a dark and mysterious. You've been in like Slyborn communities before, and that kind of reminds you of that. It's not like sketchy by any means, but it's just like the light seems dimmer here. Everything's done in very like dark grays. There's lots of like hiding areas, like all the buildings. There's like gargoyles on the buildings, like those sorts of things. And the one you said Arcana. Arcana is sort of an in-between of Codex and Grace. There's a lot of opulence to it, but it does have sort of like a structured sort of like scholar to it. The buildings, like instead of it being sort of like the white marbled of Sage, or like the really rigid like college vibe of Codex, you've got glass building. You've got like, you know, pretty storefronts. Again, it's sort of like a combination of almost Grace and Codex. It's like opulence, but it's very like scholar opulence. So like if Codex is the college, they're like the community college.
Yeah.
And then the Arcana is like the private college that you spend $10,000 more on.
Yeah, it seems a bit much for my simpler tastes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm not sure yet, so I might just do some exploring around when I'm sure Bang Bang's leading me around, showing me everything, and giving me wonderful descriptions.
Oh yeah, lots and lots. Yeah, give me an instinct check.
18 with hope.
Mark your hope. Okay, so you and Bang Bang wander around for, I'm gonna say a couple hours at this point. You kind of like make your circle. You stop into the ones that may not even like really appeal to you. Just because you want to make sure you're making the right choice. Tibbity definitely reads to me as a very meticulous individual. Very likes to know his options, makes decisions not lightly kind of thing. So you make your circle. You kind of end up back over in the Grace Wedge. You see where like Bang Bang's is, and then as you're kind of like making your way back, I'm going to say into Midnight because it's right next to that. Just out of the corner of your eye, you see something that's just a slightly different coloration. Again, everything in Midnight is done in very like dark neutrals. It's in the grays, it's in the blacks, it's in those like earth tones. But out of the corner of your eye, right as you enter this area, like from Grace, at first you think it's like a clay pile, like just kind of off the top of your head. You've seen them in your travels. You remember them from a region that you came from. This is this deep, earthy, like red clay color. And as you kind of like scan back towards it, you see that it's sort of like a second layer to a cabin. And it's been like enforced with this. And there's like a bit of a little marsh kind of like, again, it's very similar with the doctor. Like it was kind of that cornering of this area. And it just kind of like appeals to you. Like you didn't see it when you guys did your first roll.
Right. I'm going to take a closer look. Definitely seems something a little bit more up my speed, up my tastes. So, I mean, I'll look around, see if, usually when it's pretty decorated like this, I'm assuming it's something that's already occupied, but I'd find that hard to believe in this area.
Yeah.
So it stands out a little bit, so try knocking on the door first, see if there's anyone in there.
No answer.
And then I'll put my hand on the doorway.
And right away, you get sort of warmth across your palm. And when you pull it back, there's this dark gold symbol that appears, and the door opens. And this cabin's built a little different, whereas like the other ones, one was sort of like a cottagecore cabin. The doctor's had sort of like a little bit of a front porch. Yours reminds you very much of like from your region, they have like oasis holes where again, they've got like this sort of like marshy area in like the sand or the clay. And then the clay they create this almost like hobbit hole, I'm going to call it, but that's not what I'm trying to describe. And it does still have like a doorway, but it's for all intents and purposes, think of like amphibians or like water creatures that create like their burrows. It's very similar to that. So it doesn't have like a porch, but the door kind of opens and then you can enter in.
Mm-hmm. I'll step on through and take a look.
Okay. Well, as we kind of all settle in, I'm not going to have you guys describe these for me yet because I'd love to start our next session with it. I'd love to give you guys some homework to design and describe your homes. You're going to be given at least a day at least a day in game to change it. Again, the magic is organic. It's going to react to you. As you guys all sort of settle in for the evening, you notice the magic change with the time. Again, it mirrors sort of the outside time a little bit. And a hush sort of falls over the community as it gets darker. And the energy shifts just a little bit. Whereas before it was all bustling and happening and there was this sort of like spark of things. As the darkness kind of settles over, it's a different kind of feeling. It's more peaceful. It's quiet. There's a hush over it, even though you do still hear your neighbors or your people within the community. And as all of you lay down in your respective beds, curl up to your respective partners, whatever you're doing that evening, each of you doesn't remember falling asleep. But you do. You fall asleep. You fall into a deep sleep, probably one of the deepest sleeps you had in a very long time. When you wake up the next morning, you feel refreshed, but none of you can remember when you fell asleep. And I think we'll go ahead and call there for the evening with our exploration, some questions, and lots to explore next time on our way to Hollywood.
Hollywood, here we come.
The streets are made of gold.
You heard it here first, folks. The streets are made of gold in Hollywood, and we are about to make our way to them. So much has happened and so much more to come. Next time we get to join our heroes for the opening ceremony party within Momentum. And maybe we'll find some more mystery, some more things. Who knows? You'll have to come back and listen to figure out what happens next. As always, just want to take a quick moment to shout out some of our friends doing amazing things out in the nerdy world. The Dodoborn crew, as of this posting, has already put out their season 2 finale. Queen of Daggers still posting episodes and just had a crossover with one Isaac Allen Burns on their Duality Bites. And Tales by Daggerlight are also posting some amazing episodes, deep, heavy lore and adventures that you do not want to miss. Miami 86, Biscayne Business, another Talking Crit production, has started putting out episodes on our YouTube. Be sure not to miss any of that wild and crazy adventure. And also, make sure to join our Discord community. I highly recommend you find the link in our description. You'll get to meet the amazing players here on Momentum and maybe some more awesome people. We also do live games, discussions, and we're overall just a great nerdy group of people. Until next time, I hope to see you at a table real soon. But until then, keep it nerdy, guys.